First of all, we have to thank the French Sir Yogis who have arranged this program for us. So give them a we have to thank all the leaders of all the Sahaja Yoga centers in Europe and in England who have helped to arrange this program. You are the leaders. You are clapping for yourself. Last of all, but not least of all, I have to thank all the Sahaja Yogis for coming all the way to this castle. So as a token of my gratitude for all of you, I would like to give some little presents to the different centers of Europe and England. So as we call the names of people one by one, you should come. Now, Gavin and yes, because the handwriting is written by people that you can't read. First the centers you take out. Move it the other way now. This is correct. It's come out correctly. Yeah. Now, let's start. Now we have done one thing. First of all the leaders of the centers will be called, of the countries, will be called and given a present to them. And after that, we'll be calling some of the leaders whom we have not yet given presents, but I would like some of the senior leaders to give them the presents. So it would be a generosity on their part, because I had put those names which are the leaders already, and I think it would be very generous on their part to give these presents. Ask one of these girls right behind you. Has anybody got pair of scissors? Now, if you have any questions, I would like to answer them, and then I'll tell you something about surgery.
How can we better protect ourselves if we work in an environment which is against Sahaja?
That's the place you have to work it. I will tell you later on this point more. Now, another question.
Is there a particular advice to keep the Sahasrara open and clear?
Particular?
Is there a particular advice to keep the Sahasrara open?
All right, I'll answer this also. No, I think I can answer this question now. It's very simple, as I told you, that the deity of Sahasrara is sitting before you. That the deity of Sahasrara is the Mahamaya. That try not to understand her through your reasoning and imagination, but by surrendering absolutely to it, you keep your Sahasrara open. In case you still find, just one sentence more, it is still closed, you have to ask for forgiveness from the deity that if we have by mistake made any mistakes, so please forgive us. That's all. All right. Now, what is the another question? What no?
It's a very specific question. It is advised that children should sleep in the same room as the parents. But if they wake up 4 or 5 times during the night, okay, is it possible to put them in a separate room?
No. Then the mother should sleep with the child. And the father should sleep in another room. Mother should never leave the child. Moreover, I would advise you that now you have children. Don't get too much involved with your children. That's a dangerous thing. This is another phase. First they get involved with the wives or husbands, then they get involved with the children. If you get involved with the children, then again you have to restart many things. So don't get involved. You have to just do the work like a trustee of the child, just a trustee of the child. But don't get involved with the child. That is my job. You have to leave it to me. So don't get too much involved with the children. I find people who got children, you see, are going now writing literature on it. Don't do like that. I have already given instructions what is to be done about the child. But the children are mine, not yours. So you just don't get involved into them because that's a temptation for you. Too much involvement in the children is a sign of degradation. It's only your responsibility to look after it. That's all. So, and mother must be with children. Must be with children. She should sleep with them, she should look after them till they are 5 years of age. If she has to go out, she must know that she has to carry the child. She cannot leave children. That's not good. Should never leave the child before they are 5 years of age, whatever it is. Because you should know that till that age, 5 years of age, the child is growing very fast. You see, at an old age, say somebody is 90 and 95, there's not much difference. And at that time, the sense of security must be maintained. That one has to do. So if the husband has to do something else, or if he has to go out or anything, he can go with other friends, the boys or other Sahajogis. But the mother must look after the children. That's her duty. She has to do it. And of course, the husband must help her, must do whatever is needed. But here the question is of shifting the similarity. Now at this time the mother is important. She has to look after the child. That's her first job. And at this time the husband's job becomes a secondary thing. But hers is the first job. And later on, then it again shifts because husband's work becomes more important. If you give them now the security complete, the children you will find will be very peaceful, and that's what Indians do. You have seen how Indian children behave. They are so quiet, so peaceful. Because the mothers forget about the whole world. You will be surprised, till my younger daughter was 5 years of age, I never went out with my husband. And women should not unduly feel that to look after the child is a lower job and to work in the office is a higher job. Because that pays more money or gives you artificial powers. You must know the greatest power in this world is that of the mother. And unless and until you give you that much to your child, the child is not going to give you back. That discipline, that respect, that glory that you expect as parents. There should be a rapport between the child and the parents and understanding. They should talk and not give toys all the time, but talk to them. Even when they don't talk, you talk to them. And that will improve cases. All right. So what is the second?
Can you talk about discrimination, Shri Mataji?
It's an innate quality. You can't talk about it. Discrimination is not rational. It's an innate quality. But the best thing you have are vibrations, by which you should see if the things are all right or not. But you must know, as Sahajogis, as you will grow, you will know immediately what is good and what is bad. It's a state in which you become discreet. But for that you must know is to have your responses controlled, a steady response to anything. You just, for example, you see something, for a minute you just become into thoughtless awareness. And you will have the power of discretion. It's a power. It is not a thing that can be discussed or taught. It's a power. So one has to develop that state. And the best way is to, at any confrontation, anything that you face, first you become thoughtlessly aware, so you enter into the kingdom of God. And then react. The responses must be made very steady and subtle. And one should not suddenly change the attentions. You see, just now, everybody's attention there, mine is not. I did the job.
Once again.
All right? The attention now is with me. Suddenly all of you turn. What is there to see? Who is responsible? So those who put their attention there, pull your ears. I think everybody should do it. All right. So, now, what's the other question?
For an artist who is a Sahaja yogi, what means to create a piece of art?
The piece of art must emit vibrations. It does not emit, that means there's something wrong. And going for something higher subjects, like Kundalini, like the expression of Kundalini, the colors of Kundalini, and into another world, you have to move into that world. Like you can see, we have so many artists, for example, you can say Blake. And for a Sahajogi, it should be a kind of a beautiful integration of the gross and the abstract, or realistic and abstract, you can say. And little bit of impressionism. That's how you should try to integrate all of them. They express one style. Sahajogi has no style because he knows how to mix up, how to integrate. But certain colors like black should be avoided. But the pastel colors, if they are mixed with black, give it a depth to the pastel colors. Your mother's attention goes to Sahajogis. That's my attention is. And it is such a remarkable attention that it is described as kataksha nirikshan. Means every glance examines and acts. So when you have that attention, then it's all right to see everything, because it is so deep and penetrating. Yeah.
How, for the people some people for a reason or another cannot live in an ashram, so how will such people know that they are growing in collectivity?
Growth in collectivity creates joy, fun, happiness. No discussion, no argument comes in, especially with the leader. What are your relations? That's very important. Now, if you fight with the leader, then something wrong with you. You have no right to fight with the leader. Now, if the leader becomes absolutely unpopular, then he is no more a leader, that I know. But he has to be unpopular in the whole world. Say for example, if there is Mr. X who is popular in the country, who is a leader and unpopular in a country Y. Now, that is no judgment, because they might be jealous. They think they are equal to him and can fight him back and can shut him down. And no administration can work like that. Least of all divine administration. So those who fight the leader are first of all uncollective. Actually, India is the best way to find out. They come and tell me about who is who. So I would put it like this very grossly, that you have to be popular in India. And the Indian leaders have to be popular otherwise, in other countries. But perhaps I have some sense of discretion and I know who is who. So somebody who is a leader, you should not fight, first of all. You should not, if he's strict, if he's harsh with you, take it with a grace and be happy that you are corrected. But if you give an explanation or you fight it back or you think that you are all right, then you can never improve. I have seen there are some Sahajogis and Sahajoginis who have been with us for years and they have not improved at all because they think that there's nothing wrong with them. Sometimes I shout at them because the bhoots have to go, so they said, all right, mother has shouted at our bhoots. And they never want to look at themselves. And they are the losers. Who's going to lose? They are stupid. And then such people go and talk against the leader at his back. These are the murmuring souls that Christ has described. And they try to form a group against the leader and create a problem, a barrier for themselves and also for Sahaja. These are very dangerous people and they know the ways how to talk against the leader. So keep away from them and shut them down. Even they might be your husband or your wife or your child, don't listen. Tell them to shut up. This is a bhoot talking. Just don't listen to anyone who murmurs behind the back of the leader. They will appear to be very wise, very sensible, but know that they are against Sahaja. Just don't listen to them, don't accept anything from them, tell them to shut up. The leader has to deal with very important things. With me it's very difficult to deal, and he has to also deal with petty things. They, poor things, are like martyrs, I should say, in my presence. I had to correct so many times in such a bold manner. I correct them and they take it from. This is how we are going to work it out very smoothly. Frigidity.
No, fluidity.
Fluidity. I thought frigid. All right, on the French soil we can't say much, all right, be careful. One must understand that it is the leaders who have to be really strict with the discipline. They themselves should be disciplined and they must put discipline on the people. But they have to be full of compassion, compassionate towards all other people, but not sympathetic towards bhoots. Not to sympathize with bhoots, not to identify with bhootish nonsense, not to be kind to people who have bhoots is discipline, is the compassionate discipline. That's how we all are going to improve and improve and improve for our own gain. Now here there is no domination. It is the compassion of God you accept and the bhoots you discard. The domination of the bhuts you discard with the help of your leaders. So if they are harsh with you, thank them for that. Next question. They are sadly mistaken. If they do that, they'll be lost in no time. This is the same thing which has ruined our Western country, where people believed in individuality without maturity. We believe in maturity and then individuality. Say a flower becomes a fruit, on the tree it has to mature on the tree with the whole, till it is completely mature. And then it can become an individual, otherwise what's the use of having these half-baked people? We must know that in Sahaja Yoga we don't believe in an immature individuality. Like two little boys of 10 years fighting in front of my road and having a boxing. And I ask them, why are you fighting? They tell me back, it's a personality clash. Even if you fight with another Sahaja Yogi, there's something wrong with you. What's the next question?
The question is, if there is one leader who does not stand up to his responsibility...
That's my loka. That's my loka. You know I know everything. So you just don't worry. You don't have to judge your leaders. Leave it to me, I'll manage that. See now, already you have so much work to judge yourself and to judge those who are not yet realized. So why should you worry about your leaders so much?
Is Krishna born from a cow, Shri Mataji?
Is Krishna?
Is Shri Krishna born from a cow?
No, the once upon a time, long time back, the mother took birth as a cow, see? And everybody was in that cow. Krishna and everyone was in that cow. Then later on, that cow took the form of a lady. And then Krishna was born from that lady. All right? That's for children.
Hello?
All right, good. He understands English. Now, any other question?
If you are in Sahaja Yoga and your wife leaves you or your family leaves you, how do you react? If you are Sahaja Yogi and your wife and your family is not in Sahaja Yoga, what to do?
I'm just the same. Now 14 years have passed, it's just the same. And only thing you can do is to prove it. Prove it by your own behavior, by your own example. If they are honest, they'll accept it. If they are dishonest, forget them. This so-called family is temporary. This is the eternal family you have. So don't quarrel or fight with them, leave them alone. They'll come round. Actually, you should never force them to come. I'll give another instruction today, that many people who are Sahaja Yogis won't take their children to their parents because according to them they are not Sahaja Yogis. Sometimes they don't take the children because they think the parents will spoil. Unless and until they are positively against Sahaja Yoga. If they are not against Sahaja Yoga, you should take your children there. There's no harm, because this is a very funny attitude people take. But if they are definitely against Sahaja Yoga and doing activities against Sahaja Yoga, then you cut off. But as long as they are neutral, they are not doing any harm to Sahaja Yoga, they are not against Sahaja Yoga, they are not against you, then there is no harm in going and seeing the children. I mean, the Sahaja Yogis are so frightened of bad vibration that they look like schizophrenic people. It should not be a craze. Sahaja Yoga is not a craze. It is a power that should give you greater powers instead of making you frightened personalities. You are not excluded people, excluded from the rest of them. You are not excluded. You are exclusive, but not excluded. This is discretion again. So go ahead with it. Meet everyone, talk to everyone, be nice to everyone, go to every shop, go to your parents, talk to them, nicely be nice. Don't talk about Sahaja Yoga. Otherwise we'll develop some horns. So this is to feel everybody's vibration, bad vibrations, good vibrations, madness. And a fellow who came to see me, he's a Freudian, and he wrote in his book that Sahaja Yogis are schizophrenic. No, he did. This one fellow in India, a stupid fellow. And you see, he must have picked up some Sahaja Yogis from the periphery, you see, who are frightened to talk to me. You're Freudian, all right, we don't want to see your face. Why should be afraid of anyone? Even of the Satan. Who is he? You are there to kill him, and you have powers. And you have powers. So what is this kind of a cowardliness? Doesn't behove. All right, next question. Actually, you have such powers that even if you do like this, the bhoots will run away. Like this. It's sufficient. Now, what is it?
This we have registered.
Yes. Because they said there's not good vibrations in the thing. I am coming here, how dare anybody stay here? They must have run away at least 100 miles. Let's have it, the second question. Now, what is it?
How can you please you best?
It's not a bad question, Shri Mataji.
What does he say?
How can we please you best?
I have no desires. I don't know. You see, inside me is complete peace and complete satisfaction. There is nothing that is needed inside. But the ripples of that joy flows outward all the time. And when it reaches your shores, you see, it comes back. And it weaves a beautiful pattern. And I see the pattern. The reciprocity, how much you reciprocate. is the way the pattern is beautiful.
Done.
Pattern is beautiful. It's delicate, it's powerful, it's so soothing, and it weaves the complete beauty of bhakti. So much so that this ocean of joy itself gets turbulent. And I really swing with it. And it is not easy to describe that beautiful feeling of tremendous joy. The first thing you have to know that I love you very much, with all my heart, with all my soul. In the same way, try to love me, with all sincerity and trust. May God bless you. Now I'll speak for 1 minute about this meditation. Yesterday I told you about putting your attention to different areas, the pradesh or the chakras. And the chakras, as you know, has got mandalas, is the areas. So when you pay attention to the chakras, where do you pay attention to is the point. Actually you pay attention to the deity. Now this deity, supposing you are taking the name of Shri Ram, you are trying to establish Shri Ram within your heart, right heart chakra. Now at that time, what do? You say the mantra. But there's another way which is easier, because you are saying a mantra in a way that is not so much intelligible there to Shri Ram. But first of all, if you study the qualities of Shri Ram, what were his qualities? And if you manifest those qualities through your character, then it's very easy to please Shri Ram. What is the quality of Shri Ganesha? He is entirely surrendered to Mother. Even Father doesn't bother him. What is the quality of Christ? He forgives those who have crucified. He can go through all kinds of tapas. What is the quality of Shri Krishna? For whom everything is a leela. Like that, when you take the name of Shri Krishna, do you see everything as a witness? If effortlessly that happens to you, you should know that you have established Shri Krishna. Is the most difficult thing is to establish me. Because I am Mahamaya. And the facets are so many, 16,000 into raised to power 1,000. So it's difficult. But whatever things you can grasp and think this is Mother's quality, try to imbibe that within yourself. That doesn't mean you start shouting at booths first. So first, what is the first quality of Mother? That she came on this earth and she has worked for people who are nowhere near her. She stooped down to elevate others. And then gradually you can understand that this quality will take you to higher qualities that you think. So among the 7 colors, to begin with, I am the green color, because I am in the center. Green color is the color that you get it from the Mother Earth. So first you must establish the quality of the Mother Earth. That she sucks up all the problems, gives you the best that she has. Start with the Mother Earth, so you start with the Kundalini. That's how one should start in imbibing. The pure Kundalini form of Mother is purity, is cleansing purity. But are you pure? Are you pure in your heart? Just think of that. And then with purity you start. That is how you have to establish different chakras of purifying all the chakras, and ultimately when you have purified all of them, you have established me. Thus, we understand we have to grow within and without by spreading our light horizontally now. Only when you become like the deities, your light will spread horizontally, otherwise not. That is what we say, that somebody has got the siddha of a particular deity. It's the siddha of Ganesha, it's the siddha of Shri Krishna. So first, when you develop their manifesting outside powers, see, of kindness, compassion, of witness and all those, then you can develop their other qualities which are on the destructive side. First the constructive side you must develop. Then the destructive automatically will work. You don't have to worry. Like one side of Shri Krishna, he was playing with ordinary herdsmen, and the another side he was killing Rakshasas. So first you have to become like him, and then automatically you will get the other powers. You don't give swords to stupid people, do you? Swords.
On ne donne pas des épées à des gens stupides, c'est trop dangereux.
So one would understand that one has to develop these qualities of construction of all the incarnations, and then you become empowered by the destructive qualities of those incarnations. If you understand the sequence, then the fanaticism will never grow, because fanaticism comes when you start thinking that you are the incarnation, or whatever incarnation has done you can do. Like Christians felt they could become Kalaki without his advent even, and they took a rifle, or you can say a gun in one hand and a Bible in another hand. And the Muslims, they never believed that Muhammad was a prophet, so they think because he was not he was a prophet, but he was not an incarnation, so we could also do the same what he was doing. In the same way, Hindus also, when they become fanatic, they start thinking they have become great incarnations. So discretion must be used again, that you developed all the constructive side of an incarnation. So after the seminar, you have to remember my word about it, that you have to concentrate on a deity to imbibe the qualities of that deity, otherwise you have no communication with the deity and no use saying the mantras. Like we would say that this chakra is catching or that chakra is catching. Why? Because there is that lacking of that chakra that you have not yet imbibed within yourself. So you must try to identify yourself with the qualities, the constructive qualities of every deity, and that's how you should believe that you are now correcting your chakras with the mantras. Otherwise, I'll find all the Sahajogis carrying all the 1,000 weapons of the Devi in their hands, suddenly thinking they have all become Devis. Now I hope when you go back home, you won't forget my words, and try to concentrate on your pradesh, on your areas of different chakras which are not all right and which are troubling, and try to imbibe those qualities and nourish also the ones that are all right by understanding the qualities of the deities. Then only you will be amazed that your powers will flow without even thinking about it. It's not difficult for you. It's not at all difficult. But know that instead of paying attention to others' chakras, better look after your own chakras. If your chakras are all right, you won't even catch from others. Another dangerous thing people do is to correct the chakras of others. Individually it should never be done, collectively you may do. But it's better not to enter into that exercise till you have reached certain state of confidence. This is for your further movement into the second era of Sahaja. And I hope I will live to see the second era fully. But first, second one, you desire for the second. You cannot jump, you know. Now, here you should today say to yourself that in your heart, promise that, Mother, I will now correct myself completely for my own benefit, and I will project my mind to think discreetly how I can help to propagate Sahaja Yoga to others. With discretion. We should not go and talk to a bull about Sahaja Yoga. Now, for the leaders, I have to tell you that consolidation is a very important part of the projection. I would say all the leaders must meet and decide especially about few things like tapes now. Tapes are to be put into some place as bank. Put it in Switzerland, put it somewhere. And that they should be distributed regularly. There should be a regular register of it. Write it down wherever I speak, where is the tape, how many lectures she gave. Some of you should try to translate or to edit some of the tapes on your own and see how you have done it. Send it to your leaders. Let the leader read it, and then if he finds it all right, he can send it over to me, so that we have a record also on paper. And also the sending of tapes from places to places is very important. Sending of tapes to different. I must find out the people who want the tapes should write to a particular committee for that you haven't got this tape or that tape. And if you get a particular tape, correspond about it with each other. Just don't get lost. Correspond. Did you listen to that tape? Have you heard of that? What is this? You discuss now Sahaja Yoga among yourselves. Write to each other. Now the video tapes. Whatever tapes you have, video tapes or any tapes, you better inform the central committee, which will be formed of all these leaders here, and inform them that you have got this tape and that tape and that tape. Make a list of that, send it over and revise it, put it right, because they should not be lost. All of you should try to think about the little problems of facing the propaganda. Like I would say that people may say, what is so miraculous about Mother? They are not realized souls. So what do you do? Now, we can always keep the photograph where you saw the light on my head and show them and ask them, how do you explain? Also, you can, now there's another beautiful photograph. Can you show them, Arnu? Arnu has got a beautiful photograph where my whole hand has come like a moving sun. You must pay him to get a copy for that, and all of you should keep that with you. There is another one where there is light coming out of my feet. Like that, you should keep these photographs with you, all of you, so that when anybody confronts you, you can show the photograph. See now, how do you explain? Like a simple thing like people were talking now in England, a discussion about Christ. That's a gentleman supposed to be very knowledgeable says Christ never existed. Because Paul never mentioned it. Paul, I think you change your name because that Paul was a horrible fellow. This now, we have to ask them, but why do you believe in Paul? You should write to all the churches because you believed in Paul, that's why there's a problem about Paul. This is also some committee should handle, that we have to blast all of them when there is any attack on Christ or on me or anything. All of us must write immediately, what do you mean by this? Christ has said that you are to be born again. And Nicodemus said, that does it mean that I enter into the womb of my mother? So Christ said, that is what is born of flesh is flesh, but what is born of spirit is the spirit. See the vibrations. What about that? So then you write to them that this Paul, great was never, I don't mean you, but Paul, Mr. Paul of the Bible, was never a realized soul.